So to lighten the mood a bit, you see the news recently, the Tucker Carlson statement.
He's never agreed to interview, but I'm going to ask him like some very specific questions about gay sex and see if he can even answer.
He said that you are basically fake gay and that you've created this persona to appease the woke mob.
Tucker Carlson claims Pete Buttigieg isn't really gay.
He was dating women just a few years ago. That's totally fake. Wow. He's not gay at all.
Smart.
So I said that on the air. People got all offended.
Yeah. I mean, in a weird way, I guess it's progress. Like, I spent a good chunk of my life believing, knowing that like being gay would be a career ender for me. I had two parts of my career when I was in my 20s. Public service and being interested in public office and being in the military, both of which could have ended because I was gay. And honestly, I don't like thinking about it now, but there was a time when I would have done anything to not be gay. Like, it was just like, tell me what I have to do, and I would have done it.
Like you would have gone to conversion therapy?
I mean, if I thought it would have worked, the state of mind that I was in at a certain time in my life when I was younger, maybe, yeah. Because I thought that the reality would just shut down my options. And then I grew older, I matured, I went to war. During that deployment, I thought, like, this is insane to, like, be a grown-ass man with no idea what it's like to be in love. Like, if I get through this deployment okay, I'm going to come home, I'm going to come out, and if it messes up my career, so be it. But that's how I live my life. And so to now be at a point where a right-wing, whatever you want to call him, personality, commentator, his big conspiracy theory is that I'm secretly straight is like kind of hilarious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's progress.
Yeah, because what would you possibly have to gain about lying about that?
Yeah, I don't know. But that's the nature of these conspiracy things, right? I mean, you know these much more deeply than I do, but I think it doesn't have to make sense in order for it to make sense to someone. And what is important is to say something that's like outrageous enough to get attention. And like, here we are talking about it, because it's actually like, of all the things you could say about me being gay, probably the most like novel and weird is to say that I'm actually not.
I didn't know that you didn't come out until after your deployment.
Yeah, I was already mayor in South Bend, and part of what happened is when you get deployed, you write a letter, or they tell you to write a letter, just in case. I mean, I still have it in my desk drawer. It says just in case on the outside. And I'm sitting down to write this letter that's for my family to open up if I don't make it. And I'm taking stock of all these great things in my life, which really are these great things in my life. I mean, I'd become the mayor of this city that I loved. I owned a home, you know, like I had a good life, great friends. But like this huge part of what most people consider to be important in their lives just wasn't there for me, because I had figured out long since that I was gay, and I didn't think I could or should like try to date and keep it a secret. So I just didn't have that as part of my life. And sitting down writing that letter, I just thought, I can't, you know, I'm already into my 30s, like I can't go on like that. So that's kind of when I made up my mind. And not about being gay, but about coming out.
For sure, and you feel like that was a really important thing for you to do?
Yeah, and it opened up so many things in my life. I mean, you know, pretty soon after that, I met Chasten, who I married. You know, we're now raising 2 kids together in Michigan, where we live. And I just think about all of the most important things in my life, like our family and our home, and none of that's there in a world where I don't just decide whatever the consequences, I'm gonna come out, be who I am, start dating, and like have that part of my life.
So you expected some initial backlash, but it actually went the opposite direction.
Yeah, there was both. There was definitely both. I mean, as soon as I came out, there were people having press conferences denouncing me for whatever, but as some like nasty stuff online. But also, what was interesting was a lot of people did surprise me with their reaction in the other way. Some people like just found it, especially people I was in the military with, like just found a reason to say hi. I didn't say anything other than that, but it was kind of a way of like checking in, or kind of a way of letting me know they didn't care. And then other people, including people I was in the military with, it turned out I was in the same boat, and I never knew it. And they wrote to let me know that. And I got reelected, it's actually that same year, with more votes than I did the first time around. And this is in, like, Indiana's a conservative place, right? This is while Mike Pence is the governor of Indiana, like, just to give you a sense of how conservative. And it was okay. Like, you know, not perfect, but it was okay.
Was there any reaction that really surprised you in a positive way?
You know, one story I tell a lot is someone I ran into who pretty soon after I started dating Chasten, who I knew was like more conservative. I ran into her and she had this like almost like naughty look in her eye, and she's like, I ran into your friend and he's fantastic. And it was like this like moment of like I could have lectured her on like, this isn't my friend,
Yeah.
but like the point was like, she wanted me to know that she was like in this accepting place, right? Which I thought was really, really moving, because I was like honestly pretty terrified about how many people would or wouldn't be accepting. The other thing that was surprising is that it wound up being this thing that I was afraid would just like make me like other, just like alien to like the world I grew up in, which is like a very like straight conservative culture. It actually became the most normal thing in my life. Like what was not normal was being somebody who worked 18 hours a day and didn't miss that he didn't have any kind of like dating life, right? That might have been how I looked or like tried to look normal, but that's not normal. What's much more normal actually is now where like I'm trying to have a presence as a public figure and a political life, and also trying to do right by a home where I got a husband waiting for me and 2 kids and a dog, and you know, we're getting the roof fixed, and like some of the most normal things in my life are there because I opened that door.
Yeah.
And maybe that's been the biggest surprise.
Yeah, speaking of Mike Pence, do you think there's a pipeline between like homophobia and people being closeted?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, you see these stories about like apps like Grindr like blowing up when the RNC comes to town and all the Republicans are in one place, right?
Yeah.
And look, I think a lot of people, even now, I'd like to think it's different than when I was in high school, but I think even now a lot of people get the message that like you don't get to just be who you are and not have that define you. And that's the part I think we're still really working on in the gay community, is like being able to have that just be like a thing that's like true about you among like many other things that are true about you, like what your job is, or, you know, having brown hair or whatever, and not have it have to be like the thing that everybody knows about you or sees when they see you.
On a broader community level, how did you feel about the T getting removed from the Stonewall website?
It's terrible. I mean, look, you know, if you look into the history of what made it possible for people like me to have rights like we do, like to get married, like a lot of that was advocates and activists who were transgender in the 60s or 70s. I mean, it's hard enough now. Imagine what it was like then.
Can't even imagine.
Who stuck up for everybody's rights. And so, you know, I get the politics of it. Like, I get that it would be politically convenient, honestly, for like people to pull up the ladder after them and leave out others, but that's not okay. Like, people have to stick together. And that's not just across the LGBTQ community. It's like anywhere somebody is getting beat up or having, literally or figuratively, because of who they are, I think everybody else has to stick up for them.